Alright, we're back out here. It's another day. It's really cold outside, but we're gonna finish breaking in the engine, hopefully. So we tightened down where I think the fuel is leaking from. So now I'm just gonna prime the oil again. We've got the drill in here, the distributor removed. We'll just run this for a little bit. Make sure we have oil pressure built up already. Got the distributor. I marked where the, I don't know, whatever this thing is called, the arm was pointing to, so we can put this in the right way and timing is still lined up. There we go. So I've got a mark at the base, a mark up here. I just feel like it looks so clean and nice, and then in like a day, we just put the rest of the stuff on and now it looks like trash. There's just like hoses and brackets and stuff everywhere. And then I look at the pile of hoses down there on the floor that we took off. I guess it is better than it was.
So it's still leaking.
It looks like it's actually the carb that's leaking, not the fuel inlet. That could come from. So it looks like it's leaking from the bottom of the carb, so we're going to pull it off and take a look, make sure everything's tightened up and all the gaskets are in place, and then go from there.
The carb is out.
I'm just going to tighten those screws and poke around a bit. So what else can we do?
All right, let's try this again.
All right. We go for it?
I guess. Fingers crossed. It's pouring out fuel.
So we gave up on the carb. It's just been leaking all over the place. It's not tuned at all, and I don't know how to tune a carb. So what we did is we went on Craigslist and found somebody selling a pretty decent Edelbrock carb. We got that for a good price. It'd barely been run. It looks brand new. So we're just gonna swap it out. It's way simpler. It's got a manual choke. There's hardly any adjustment on it. So hopefully we can just drop that in and run it and not deal with all the complexities of this one. And then we'll get her firing up and running. Because it's been a long time. We spilt a lot of fuel. I hurt my finger. It's been a really rough week.
Right now Zach is getting the old carb off for the 100 millionth time. I feel like we've taken this off a lot, especially this week.
So once we got the carb off, I looked into the intake and it's actually got pooled gas just standing in there. Because this thing was leaking so much that it just flooded. Yeah, that's bad. That's when you say, now that's your problem. Alright, I got our new carb. We'll just get that installed. Get that vacuum line hooked up.
This is gonna look so much better.
Yeah, can't wait for the performance gains we're gonna see too. There we go.
I think we really got a deal.
It's like it does fit. Cool. I think it's gonna work. Down into here.
Did we get enough?
Yeah, I think so.
Good.
Yes, we are very good. So this carb has a manual choke. So instead of the whole electric thing, we're just gonna have that slick cable actuator going into the dash somewhere. Real high quality unit right here. We got the fuel line installed. We had to get a different fitting to go down on the fuel pump. Now we're trying to figure out how to link up the throttle cable. So apparently we don't have the bracket that it requires. So we're kind of rigging something up. We spilled a lot of gas on the floor again. That was fun.
Something like sprayed out the top of the carb.
Spraying some fuel maybe?
Yeah, it smells like it.
If it's flooded.
repetitive backfire.
Yeah. That's like there's a cylinder that's not getting its spark.
So do you think the timing is off?
Could be timing. Maybe we should pull all the spark plugs and make sure they're all seated nicely and cleanly.
Okay.
So the spark plugs don't look super great. So what we're doing is we had 6 brand new ones, so we replaced 6 of them, and then Zach is working on cleaning the other 2 that we don't have enough to replace.
So hopefully whatever was misfiring was because one of the spark plugs we replaced was bad. And hopefully these last 2 are fine. And then we'll be good. I think I'm done going to autos today. We've gone twice already, not going back. So hopefully this fixes it.
So these guys weren't tight.
So I gotta find a different torque spec on these because this is really bad.
Yeah. I feel like we did tighten these though.
Yeah, so we should probably pull the other side too.
The other side was also loose.
Like that one was tight, loose. I think it's time for some internet. So I'm just tightening this down until it bottoms out. You can see how these spring compressed. Yeah, these are pretty bad. So that means that these valves were barely opening. And that's why we were getting the backfire from cylinder 1, because the exhaust valve just wasn't opening at all. And that means that every time it combusted the cylinder and then it came back around, the exhaust valve didn't open, those exhaust gases didn't go anywhere, and then when the intake opens again for the next stroke, all that exhaust gas bursts out the intake. So the internet says 23 foot-pounds, so I think that's right there. 17 to 23 to be precise. So the human body is not very good at guessing torque specs. I think I saw something once that said the human is like accurate to 40% of the torque. So these could be anywhere from like 10 to 35, right? And they're also not very good at doing math, is the other thing that I read. The average human. What does the torque count as if the screw is so loose that it's flopping in the hole?
Negative torque.
So we should probably crank it over once by hand and just make sure that everything works. The throttle cable again.
Yeah.
But hey, that's what we needed.
Yep.
I didn't record it much. And it ran nicely at first. So that's probably a little much right there. I think I just need to play with the choke and stuff. I get that to put it there, see if it starts off.
Okay.
outside the garage right now. The engine's running really nicely. We're just letting it break in for 20 minutes. So we're running it pretty high idle to break in the cam. Just making sure that nothing overheats or we lose oil pressure or anything. So.
And it's snowing.
Yeah. And I'm so nervous I don't even feel cold.
I feel cold. First 20 minutes are down.
I feel like that's the most stressful thing we've done so far.
Yeah. That was so stressful. Oh my gosh.